About 11 years ago, I used to live in a small house that neighbored a cemetery. I was only 12 at the time, so the arrangement was slightly unnerving, particularly so when I began to stay up late during summer when school was out. If I looked into the graveyard at around 3 in the morning, I could see shadows moving. For a long time, I didn't know what they were or what they wanted, but I eventually took to calling them the graveyard people. The graveyard people had a little ritual they would do. They would always go to a grave. This was a different grave every night. Grab something, and then run back to the mausoleum that sat in the center of the cemetery. For a few months, I would stay up just to watch them. After all, they stayed only in the cemetery and never seemed to notice me watching through the blinds. I had always been careful to darken my room when watching them, so that I didn't leave a silhouette showing in the window. However, in early August of that year, I had a nightmare. I can't remember what it was now, but it made me utterly afraid to have the lights off that night. Despite this, I wanted a last look at the graveyard people before school forced me to sleep well before they awoke for the strange ritual. So, I pressed my luck. I slipped my head up to the window. A scream caught in my throat. One of the graveyard people was at my window, staring at me with its gray, hound-like face. It stared perfectly still, with a half-eaten and half-rotten limb in one hand. I was frozen as it snorted hot breath onto the window, making a fog on the glass. Then it took a long finger and wrote on the glass, "You should be sleeping." For years afterwards, I refused to stay up late, and if I did, I at least pretended to sleep. I have moved several times in these years since, always for different reasons. Nothing supernatural, mind you. My moves have brought me full circle. I am in college now and live across from the cemetery once more, and occasionally if I'm up late enough and dare to look out the window, I can make out the shadows of the graveyard people. I wonder if they ever look back to see if I'm watching.